Hello, good evening. This is Business on Joy News Prime with me, Beverly Broom. Government recorded a 5.63% oversubscription of Treasury bill sales, but at surging interest rates. According to the auction result by the Bank of Ghana, the government got 3.22 billion cedis. The following report has more.
Government accepted 3.2 billion cedis of the bids tendered by the investors, largely banks, representing about 99% of the subscription. However, interest rates continue to rise, raising concerns about the cost of repaying the debt instrument. This time around, a chunk of the bids came from the 91-day bill, in which 2.3 billion cedis were tendered. The government accepted all the bids. About 717.5 million cedis came from the 182-day bill, of which 701.6 million cedis were accepted. For the 364-day bills, the bids tendered were 146.2 million cedis. The government took 143.2 million cedis. Meanwhile, the yield on the 91-day bid increased by 0.31% to 27.02%. That of the 182-day bill also went up to 28.61% from the previous 27.88%. For the one-year bill, the interest rate was 31.24% from 31.08%.
Now, senior finance lecturer at the University of Cape Coast, Seyram Kawo, has indicated that some fiscal policies implemented by government accounted for the worsening of Ghana's operational risk. The Economist Intelligence Unit ranked Ghana as a country with worsened operational risk between the end of 2022 and mid-2023. Speaking on the marketplace, Mr. Kawa said government needs to prioritize the needs of the country to address this issue and create a favorable environment for businesses.
When you look at that, we can look at both external factors and internal factors that affect the operations of companies in Ghana in particular. The external ones, as I have mentioned, we are looking at the Russia-Ukraine war. Aside that, we also have the banking sector cleanup. That has also affected. We also have situations where our government was not able to manage the exchange rate very well. Our government was not able, the domestic debt exchange that we also have over a period had affected a lot of companies, a lot of individuals in the country, and that went a long way to affect the Bank of Ghana when they have to increase the policy rates within the country. And so there are some factors that are external to us, but then largely we can look at we not being able to manage the exchange rate system that we have in our country. And then the borrowings of government, the fiscal policies of government was not very good. We have increases in taxation within the period, and these increases have actually affected most of the businesses that are operating. When you look at what we have done so far, we've been able to secure the IMF deal. Securing the IMF deal brings some level of stability. So over the period, we have seen inflation coming down and going up. We have seen the exchange rate stabilization. We've seen some agreements being entered between the government and IMF in terms of zero financing of IMF, the government programs that we have. What we need to do is that we need to prioritize the needs of the country. Once we are able to prioritize the needs of the country, we would be able to do well. But my fear is that once we are entering an election year, and we have seen glimpses of the by-elections that have come in, politicians tend to ignore all the policies and then the benchmarks that they have set out for themselves. And that, I think, we need to go back and look at it and ensure that we follow what we have agreed with IMF and what we have agreed in the budget of the country.
Now, the Ghana Hotels Association has told Joy Business members of the group will tomorrow embark on a protest march to the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission over recent increases in electricity and water tariffs. Ahead of the protest, the association is calling on the PURC to reverse the new rate of 167% between February and March to 8.3%. The PURC announced an increase in electricity and water tariffs by 4.22% and 1.18% respectively, effective September 1, 2023. Here's President of the association, Dr. Edward Akanyamike Jr.
It's actually in relation to the PURC's tariffs for February, March, April, and May. We recall that the PURC announced an 8.3% increase in water tariff for that period. But as it turns out, when our bills came, we actually saw 167% increase. What it means is that the hotels have incurred a lot of debt within that period. We've been asking the PURC to correct that. We've sent petitions. We've even asked our GTA to the Ghana Tourism Authority to intervene, but nothing has really come out of it. And we have decided to mount this protest so that this anomaly can be corrected. I want them to reverse that 167% increase between February and March. We are not talking about the recent tariffs. We have not even come there at all. We want the issue between February and May to be resolved. Hoteliers are citizens, not spectators. We have found something wrong with PURC's tariff, and we have issues with other aspects of our industry work. We are drawing their attention. We are not going to threaten them with anything like hoteliers going on strike. We are business people. We are not interested in strike. We are drawing their attention to the issues confronting us as citizens. If they act on it, fine. If they don't act on it, the public is there to judge the situation.
To some other stories now, and Orijin, a product of Guinness Ghana, is marking its 8th anniversary in the market by introducing Untamed, a platform dedicated to discovering talents in music and the arts. The champion of this competition stands to win an impressive prize of 80,000 Ghana cedi. There's more in this report.
Orijin, product by Guinness, is celebrating its 8th anniversary since they came into the market, and as part of the celebration has launched Untamed, which seeks to unearth talent. Speaking with Ya Amwa Awoso, who is the marketing manager in charge of Spirit and RTD at Guinness Ghana, she explained that Untamed simply seeks to celebrate Ghanaian talent in music and art, which is going to take place in Accra, Kumasi, Takoradi and Tamale, with the winner taking away an amount of 80,000 Ghana cedis.
Orijin has launched a campaign which is called Orijin Untamed. Orijin Untamed simply celebrates Ghanaians with talent in music and art who stay true to themselves. Ours is not like any regular reality show. We celebrate people who are really original in this field, who have stayed true to their craft, and that is what Orijin Untamed is about. It is going to be a road show which is going to be in 4 cities: Accra, Kumasi, Takoradi and Tamale. And our mission is to just go on talent hunt people who have the talent in music and arts. We will never bring them to Accra for the grand finale, and the final winner would win 80,000 Ghana cedis. And this 80,000 Ghana cedis, we are saying we are fueling the person's talent with it.
She went on to give the criteria through which one can take part, which is to submit entries on their social media handles and tag them.
So the criteria is very simple. We are opening up for people to file for nomination. So all we are saying is that you can submit your entries on our social media platforms. Submit and then tag us. When you tag us, we have judges who are well vested in this industry. They would be in a certain room where they would look at, review all of the winners. This will be live recorded, so we'll share as well on our social media pages. The intention is for us to be able to give people an equal chance in all of this.
Estella Mozito, who is the marketing and innovation director at Guinness Ghana, added that Orijin has rebranded the look on its bottle, but with the same content as it used to, and added that 8 years is good enough to have a change in its look.
Yeah, so it's really not a rebranding actually. It is just Orijin being true to what it is. This is a brand that's about being true to your roots. It's about being inspired by your roots. It's what our drink is, inspired by Ghanaian herbs and fruits. And so what we're doing is celebrating 8 years of being in Ghana and using that to celebrate originality in all its forms. Basically what we're doing with Orijin, first of all, is we are not changing the liquid. So your Orijin is going to remain the way it tastes great. The price is also going to remain as it is. The only thing that we're changing is the way it looks.
And that's all for business. You can read more stories when you log on to myjoyonline.com/business. I am Beverly Broom. I leave you with